Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Great. Let me just fix my camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, hi, I'm Teacher Moon. How
Mm-hmm.
are you this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great. And for our class, what do you want to talk about?
I do like to discuss disease X.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
A disease X. Mm, okay. So let's begin with that. Did you already read the article before our class?
Yeah, I've read it.
Perfect. Now, what can you tell me about disease X?
Okay, scientists from the WHO expect a
Mm-hmm.
certain disease called disease X,
Mm-hmm.
and it can uh, make a lot of people die,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know its source. It can be
Mm-hmm.
from existing disease or terrorism and bioweapons, and or scientists who are making a new
Mm-hmm.
virus. So anyway, but they
Mm-hmm.
said it can affect our world a lot, so we have to
Mm-hmm.
uh, prevent um, prevent it. That's all.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you so much for that. Now, do you agree with this article? I mean, do you agree about the scientists?
mm, I don't know
Yeah.
well, and I don't know why they say it.
Uh-huh.
How they can expect that kind of disease can
Mm-hmm.
be can yeah affect our yeah, I can't believe they just expect they don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about um, any reasons, so
Mm-hmm.
they just expect based on this article, but I think there are
Mm-hmm.
some reasons they think there might create this kind of disease
Mm-hmm.
will be created in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this article is very short,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't give us any information. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes,
that's
that's
all.
right. Yes, and usually we use X when we were studying math, we use X to find an answer that we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's why they also call it disease X because
Mm-hmm.
they don't know, as you
Mm-hmm.
said, what kind of disease it will be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, what are the usual or what are the kinds of disease that you heard in your country?
Disease, any
Mm.
disease,
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, actually, I'm not interested in disease,
Uh,
so yeah, yeah, I
okay.
didn't prepare anything. Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah, and I can come up with any disease, yeah,
Mm.
in my country.
Let's talk about fine dust because fine dust has become a very big problem in your country, right?
Fine dust, yeah.
Yes. Now, do you think we can consider that as a disease?
Um, it is not a disease, but
Mm-hmm.
it it causes a lot of disease. It
Mm-hmm.
affects our body um, in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, scientists
Mm-hmm.
don't expect yeah what kind of disease
Mm-hmm.
can create because of
Mm-hmm.
fine dust. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't know yet, but uh, as I know, China is also suffering from fine
Mm-hmm.
dust as well,
Yeah.
and a young child
Mm-hmm.
who has a problem, uh,
Mm-hmm.
who has a problem with his lung, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, doctors cut his lung, and there are a lot
Mm-hmm.
of fine dust. So in
Mm-hmm.
his tongue, yeah, they can
Mm-hmm.
see a very small black spot. So they
Mm-hmm.
guess it is because of um, fine dust.
Mm.
So,
A black spot. Uh-huh.
so yeah, um, yeah. Even he's young, as I know,
Mm.
yeah, he's under 10 or around 10 years old. So,
Mm.
but he was in danger because of fine dust. I think fine
Mm.
dust is more dangerous to young
Mm.
kids. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah, that's all.
Yeah. This child, I mean, he is the only one who experienced that kind of effect, or
No,
were there a lot of children?
there must be several children, not a lot of,
Uh-huh.
but the place where he
Uh-huh.
lives, uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, have a lot of fine dust.
Mhm.
So people guess the cause of his disease would
Mhm.
be um, from fine dust.
Mm. And was there a cure?
Par-
Were they able to make that boy or those people get better? Were they
No,
cured?
I don't think those. I don't think so. Uh,
Ah.
yeah, fine dust is already stuck in his lung, so
Mm.
yeah, it's impossible to get rid of fine dust. Yeah,
Mm.
it's very very small. So
Mm.
yeah, if it is possible, then we don't need to worry. We don't need to be worried about. We don't need to worry about yeah fine dust.
Mm. Mm. Now you told me that children are easily affected
Mm-hmm.
with this, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how about with adults like you, Elia?
Uh, my organs in my
Mm.
body,
Uh.
yeah, I mean body organ. Can I?
Yeah.
My most organs. Can I say organ?
Mm.
Organs
Mm.
are grow. I mean uh, are already grown up. I mean,
Mm.
so um, it doesn't affect them much. It
Mm.
is not affected that much compared to children. Um,
Mm.
their organ is
Mm.
developing,
Mm.
so it isn't grown up perfectly. That's
Mm.
why their the function of their organs
Mm.
can function well.
Mm.
So that's the problem.
Yeah.
Can you
And it
understand what
doesn't
I'm
have a
saying?
cure. Yes, yes. And it doesn't have a cure, so I think they're did they die? I'm sorry for that question, but I was really curious
Yeah.
because the fine dust entered their lungs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's no cure, so of course they will have a problem breathing,
Mm-hmm.
right? But did they survive? Did they live?
I don't remember. I read it from the news article, and
Uh-huh.
they gave us. They gave. I mean, the news article wanted to
Mm.
give us a warning
Mm.
that fine dust would be really dangerous with
Mm.
the exam of China.
Mm.
But so, yeah, just I was really amazed. I was
Uh-huh.
really surprised by that news, but yeah, I don't
Mm.
remember in detail.
It's okay.
Mhm.
I'm very curious what happened to that child. I'll try to find out about it after our
Ah,
class.
okay.
Yes. But how about Ebola and avian flu? Have you ever heard of these diseases before?
Yeah, I've heard of it, and it is spreading all over the world. But
Mm.
until
Mm.
now, I don't know well, but no. So far, it's. I mean, Korea is safe from that disease. I'm not
Mm.
sure, but because I haven't heard anybody who are suffering from that disease. Maybe some people,
Mm.
yeah, had that disease. I don't know well.
Uh,
And
mm.
I
I think
have.
in Korea, none.
Keep going.
Uh, I think in Korea, I also never heard about people with Ebola or avian flu.
Mm-hmm.
I only heard it one, a few
Mm-hmm.
in our country.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, but not in our city, in another city, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot in America.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I never heard about South Korea though.
Mm-hmm. And I have one question.
Mm,
Based on this article, it
mm,
says this disease X could come from terrorism and bioweapons.
mm,
Then, can you explain how this disease can could come from terrorism and bioweapons?
mm. Because when making bioweapons, they usually use a lot of chemicals for that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And those chemicals, when contaminated, they can actually, they can how to say this? They can create a disease. It can be, how to say this? Because for some biochemicals, they are airborne, just like nuclear weapons, right? So if a nuclear weapon is exposed,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people can die just by inhaling it. So
Mm-hmm.
when making a nuclear weapon, they use a lot of chemicals. So
Mm-hmm.
this can also create a disease that can also be airborne. So if you just
Mm-hmm.
inhale it, once you inhale it, you can easily die. Those kinds of things.
Mm. Okay, I see. Wow,
Yeah,
it's really amazing. Yeah,
it's scary.
yeah, I think most people in the world would die.
Yes, exactly. That's why America is trying to talk to the president of North Korea,
Mm-hmm.
because America knows that if North Korea will use their nuclear weapon
Mm-hmm.
against America, a lot of people in their country will die.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so is the same with your president, Mr. Moon. Although we are not related, because my name is Moon. But yeah. Because when he won the election last year, a lot of students asked me, "Are you related with him?" And I said, "No, I don't even know him." So I have to explain my side. Yeah, I even thought of changing my English name because of that. But yeah, yes, I had that experience before. But yeah, that's why President Moon is also trying to talk to the president of North Korea, because I heard that they are practicing their nuclear weapon in the Korean Peninsula,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, nuclear weapon is a very dangerous weapon. It's airborne, so just
Mm-hmm.
upon inhaling it, a lot of people will just die that
Yeah.
easily. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Any other questions about our article?
No, that's the only thing I couldn't understand.
Mhm. Okay. Now, what do you think will happen though if, because we know that Ebola virus and avian flu are very strong diseases, right?
Hmm.
Now, what do you think will happen if
Hmm.
disease X
Oh
will
yeah,
really happen in the
I
future?
think disease X would be similar to uh
Mm-hmm.
disease you said. I can pronounce it, yeah, perfectly. Ebola, is it right?
Ebola. Yes,
Ebola.
that's right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, but until so far, I mean, people are surviving, and
Mm.
it's really infectious. Is it right?
Mm. Mm. Yes,
uh,
infectious.
Infectious, but
Mm.
it doesn't spread. It is not. It hasn't been spread
Mm.
all over the world yet. So
Mm.
I think people are making a and big people are making a big effort um,
Mm.
into not into spreading that disease. So even
Mm.
though even if disease X is created,
Mm.
there are really good great
Mm.
scientists,
Mm.
and uh, maybe many people would die, but some of
Mm.
the people would
Mm.
survive, and
Mm.
then yeah, people can, how can I say, the
Mm.
population of people would
Mm.
increase in some
Mm.
future.
Yes, that's right. But speaking of population, I think that is quite a problem in your country
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if disease X will happen and if the population in your country will still be the same after how many years, what do you think will happen in South Korea?
You mean after disease X, because of disease, because of disease
Mhm.
X, the population of my country decreased, and then even if several years, after
Mhm.
several years, the population would be the same, then
Mhm.
how would I, how, what's your question?
What will happen?
What did happen?
Mm.
Oh,
Yes.
I think yeah, it's okay because
Mhm.
in the past, I mean, in old time, uh,
Mhm.
the number of people
Mhm.
was not that a lot, but
Mhm.
and nowadays I think peop the number of people is too a lot. So
Mhm.
yeah, it would be great if um,
Mhm.
people would the number of people would
Mhm.
decrease.
Mhm. Mm. Yeah, especially in our country because we are overpopulated.
Mhm.
Yeah, in our country, in your country, having four children is already big. That's already a big family, right?
Uh-huh.
But in our country, having four children is like the minimal
Uh-huh.
number of children. Yeah, my aunt on my father's side, they have 13 children.
Whoa, 13?
Yes.
How about
So,
nowadays? I mean, your friends or uh,
mm,
the people
mm,
who are in your age, around your age.
on my age, well, I have a friend. She is younger than me, but she already has two kids, one boy and one girl,
Two kids
and they are
is okay.
planning. Yeah, yeah, it's okay, right? But they are still planning to have more because,
Why do
yeah,
people in your country want to have a lot of kids?
I don't know who, but in my case, having two or three is okay because my sisters and my brother they only have two.
But
So yeah.
haven't you thought about raising kids?
Mhm.
Is really difficult.
Well, in my case, well, yeah, because I've seen how my sisters and my brothers struggled
Mm-hmm.
raising two kids. So, but I don't know in some people, especially the ones living in the province, because they don't have a family planning, so they are not aware. I mean, abortion is also something that our country does not support.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having a child aborted, they will just carry it with them
Mm-hmm.
and do their best to raise it with them. But
Mm-hmm.
for people who doesn't know anything about family planning, these are the people who tends to have a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
But for people who's living in a city and who knows about family planning, they know how to control. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that's one of the reason why.
Mm-hmm. So I think your country
Mm.
have to educate people
Mm.
about the family plan. Yeah, how?
Yes, exactly. But our time runs very fast. But do you have any other questions for me, Elia?
No.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having your class with me and enjoy your afternoon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.